running for office or not. And the question being asked is, did they vote for President Obama? Now, whatever these politicians think or don't think about Obama, it is really no one's business who they voted for. Why do you think ballot voting takes place behind a closed screen? Because it is no one's business who you vote for. The only time it is everyone's business is when a politician votes on anything that might be a law, a regulation, or if it involves the funding for something or other. And that is in the public record.
Yes, but you know what the maneuvering is since Obama's polls are really down right now. The Republicans want to force the Democrats to back Obama, thereby getting some of the negative press that Obama is getting. It's as simple as that. They don't really care, who the person voted for. They just want the other person to, get some of that negative reaction. You know what I mean?
Anyways, so be it.
C'est la vie.
Hey, I got something else for you, Malcolm. This was sent to me by a friend, and this subject has been thoroughly Snoped. You know what Snopes is, right?
I have no idea.
You could check it out on Google.
Okay, I'll Google it.
This stuff didn't just start a few years ago, but has been going on since before our country became a country. Back then, the Barbary Coast, which consisted of the Islamic nations of Algiers, Morocco, Tripoli, and Tunis, the leader of which was Tripoli, they were a prime concern to all seafaring nations that sailed the Mediterranean and the North Atlantic because of the Muslim piracy and subsequent demands for ransom and tribute.
Sounds familiar.
When the U.S. first declared its independence, they lost the protection provided by Great Britain, and by 1800 was paying to the Pasha of Tripoli more than 20% of its annual revenues, all because of the same BS that they espouse today. In 1801, they demanded of Thomas Jefferson a lump sum of 225 thou, plus another 25 thou per year until further notice. Jefferson told the Pasha of Tripoli, that is, what he could do with his request. The Pasha then cut down the American flag at the consulate in Tripoli, and the Barbary Coast, all of those countries, declared war on the U.S. Jefferson had enough of the Pasha's bullying after that, and he sent a squadron of frigates, frigates,
frigate.
That's a boat, yeah. Malcolm, along with a complement of Marines to teach the nations of the Barbary Coast a lesson that they would not soon forget. And that's why the Marine Corps hymn includes the words, "To the shores of Tripoli."
But where are the halls of Montezuma?
Yeah, well, that's the next program.
Oh, okay.
America and Thomas Jefferson always had a tradition of religious tolerance. Unlike fundamental Islam, which is predicated on supremacism, that actually mandates violence against all non-believers. And because of that, and in lieu of that, or in addition to that, my closing thoughts on the subject are as follows. Today, America and the rest of the world are doing the job of ISIS by slitting their own throats with a politically correct knife.
Could you get more specific? I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Not sure I mean what?
By that, why are we cutting our own throats?
By not doing anything fast enough or strong enough.
But what are we supposed to do? See, I'm looking at the situation. The only way that I could, I don't see what you can do about it, aside from maybe trying to isolate these people in one area. You can't change people's minds. You can either kill them or isolate them.
Or you could have, you could have absolutely nothing to do with them.
Well, supposedly
nothing.
We aren't as far as the terrorists, we're not supposed to be dealing with them.
And anybody that espouses that kind of nonsense, I wouldn't have them killed here. I would have them deported back to where they came from.
Well, let's say they are native-born Americans, and
then they're committing a form of treason.
Well, yeah, but you have to try them in court before you deport them. Well, you can't even deport them; you just have to put them in jail.
You can't deport them if they're an American citizen, but you could try them on treason if they do, in fact, commit treason.
That's true. But the thing that which I also.
But anyway, listen, Malcolm.
Yeah.
There are the people in Washington are a lot smarter than us, and they have all the answers, and they know what to do. What they generally do is we'll keep an eye on it and we'll watch it.
The people in Washington are smarter than us.
Well, of course they are. They know all the answers.
Oh, okay. If you say so, it must be.
The people in Washington, ever since I can remember, have always been the smartest, no matter what they did or didn't do.
Well, it's interesting. Well, they are earning the money right now, so maybe they are smarter. And we're paying them.
Yes, we're paying them, absolutely. Us and everyone else in the country. But anyway, let's not dwell on that, because that is a subject that we could go on forever and ever and ever, and there are probably no clear black or white, but 1,000 shades of gray in between.
That's true. Now, I have some things for you that I wanted your comments about. Now, do you know that I think it's Google and Facebook are offering their female employees to freeze their eggs? Have you heard that story? I
hadn't heard that. I must have missed that one.
What they're doing, they say men outnumber women by more than 2-1 at Apple and Facebook. At Apple, but
maybe those companies.
Yeah, but the technology companies may have found a way to keep more women on board. Facebook has begun, and Apple is planning to begin paying for female employees to freeze their eggs. So
then what?
So this way, women, let's say 25 to 30, do not have to reproduce. They have their eggs frozen, so when they're ready to have children, they have their eggs right there. And I guess young eggs are better than old eggs.
But doesn't an egg have to be somehow, interacted with male sperm in order
right.
to
Well, then they can pick
generate?
They can find some sperm, and they have frozen sperm that's united with their eggs. And I guess they have frozen children.
Without knowing where those goodies come from, you don't know what you'll get.
Well, they can pick their mate. They can have their spouse might be able to freeze their sperm.
That's nonsense. In a couple of years, I don't know how many, we'll be able to reproduce the egg and the sperm according to specific order, okay, genetically engineered in the lab, pop it into an incubator like you put a preemie into, and in 9 months you have a fully grown kid, no pain, nothing. There you go, boom, pops right out of the oven. Made to order.
Actually, I've seen the movie.
Oh, there was a movie about that? Well, okay, there's probably been a few of them that I didn't see.
Are you writing a script on that?
No. No, but I have to tell you something, and I'm sure you know about this. If you can imagine something, no matter how outlandish it is, eventually you can make it happen. Because I have to tell you, the science fiction from when I was a kid, we've gone way, way, way past it.
Do you ever think we're going to have nuclear submarines? Or
when I was a little kid, we didn't have anything nuclear except when the A-bomb went off. And when I first heard of a nuclear submarine, I said, well, how does that A-bomb translate into a submarine?
I don't think we're going to fly to the moon. That's too far-fetched.
Well, we may not, but...
and we'll colonize the moon. And But anyway, let's get back to the important things. What are your impressions of New York? How long? Where are you staying?
I'm staying at the Manhattan Club.
And where's that?
We're members here, and it's very nice. It's like a little apartment, has everything in it, and you're a short walk from just about everything.
And when was the last time you were in Manhattan?
Oh, about a year and a half ago.
Yeah. Any changes?
None that I noticed, except maybe some new restaurants coming up, some new skyscrapers with those big tower things on top that lift up the girders. There's always construction here.
Well,
I have to tell you, there's one thing that's really unique to this city, the sounds at night. You always hear police sirens at night or ambulance sirens at night. I've never heard it in any other place, but in New York, you hear it. No matter how high up you are on the building, you hear those sounds throughout the night, and they are really part and parcel of New York City.
Well, it's funny. I've been living now in Los Angeles more than half of my life. But if anybody ever asks me where I'm from, I'm a New Yorker. Well, I speak like one.
Yeah, well.
But somehow Los Angeles or Southern California has not enveloped me.
Malcolm, let's not keep talking about boring stuff. What about our guest today? Is he on board?
Yeah, but he's going to be on by the telephone. We'll get him right after the break because we're going to have to come up to a break soon. So I think we're going to have to continue this so-called boring stuff. Well, what are you in New York for?
Well, doing some interviews. I wanted to nail down Joe Franklin, which I did. And tonight we're going to a special party on a yacht off Lower Manhattan. They're filming for Bravo TV there, so they had to check us up, down, and sideways, whether or not we're acceptable for them. And that's about it. And then I head off to Florida. I'll be doing an interview there of somebody, a writer, and then another one will be a movie producer. And I'll get all of that stuff back to the station on time.
I saw. So you're a busy young man. Anyway, who is our guest coming up?
Oh, our guest. His name is Dave Beakel. Okay, Dave Beakel wrote a very interesting book. The book is called Baby Girls.
My travel with a
about babies. I'll tell you that.
My travels with a hooker.
Very unusual kind of book. I don't think anyone like that has been done before, not that I know of. And Dave Beakel, this guy really likes to travel.
Okay, Stan, we have to wrap it up. We'll be back in a few minutes on CRNTalk.com.
Someday there'll be a cure. Someday we won't lose the people we love. But when is someday? Someday is today. Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, hundreds of thousands diagnosed with blood cancer are today living a normal life. We're making cures happen. Join us. Call 888-HELP-LLS. Go to LLS.org. Help us reach today sooner.
Is your pantry dark?
The enemies of spices are light, heat, humidity, and the air.
Spice experts Ethne and Philippe de Vienne.
Keep it on a room temperature shelf where there's no heat variation. Your spices will keep for a long time, provided they're not pre-ground.
The ideal way to grind spices, let's face it, it's a mortar and a pestle. You get to smell what you're doing, and your nose is your ultimate source of inspiration.
Whole spices can last 5 years. Some changed history traveling around the globe.
The spice that we all know is allspice. It's one spice, but, legend has it that the Dutch managed to convince people that it was 4 different spices that they cobbled together to create this one spice. If people had only known, all they had to do was go to Jamaica and get allspice. The Dutch wouldn't have had the monopoly over this thing for the number of years that they did.
For more spice advice and recipes, visit spicetrekkers.com. That's Primetime Focus, brought to you by AARP. I'm Aileen Ellis.
Homeowners, now is the season to be thinking about your roof, because all it takes is one storm to turn a small roof problem into a major leak. If it's time for a new roof, call Sears at 888-465-9720. You can save $500 if you call right now. Sears licensed, fully insured contractors can get your roofing job done right. Just call 888-465-9720. Sears has a variety of shingles and styles that are built for long-lasting performance, and you'll save $500 if you call now. So call Sears for a free in-home consultation at 888-465-9720. Hurry, offer ends soon. Not available in all areas. Installation provided by Sears authorized licensed contractors. License information available upon request. That's Sears Roofing. Call right now and save $500. Call 888-465-9720. 888-465-9720. Call Sears now and get that roof repaired. Call 888-465-9720.
Chuck Wilder here, host of the original Talkback. Noon to 2 p.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time, 3 to 5 out there on the East Coast. You know, we cover everything you need to know to keep up with what they don't want you to know. Talkback, CRN, Digital Talk, noon to 2 Pacific Daylight Savings Time.
Are you still there?
I'm here.
Yeah, that's a perfect music for us with George Gershwin.
Well, what do you think? I'm in New York, and for those of you who don't know who I am, this is Stan Weisleder on The View from Over Here. And The View today is from New York to accompany the music that you're listening to.
Do you have a view from your window?
Yeah, but right now I have the curtains shut. But the
Why?
view is nice. It's nice and sunny, too. But let's get to our guest.
Okay, I'll let you do the intros.
Okay, our guest today is Dave Beakel. It's Beakel. And this guy really likes to travel on the wild side. He wrote a book called Baby Girls, but it ain't about babies. What he did was he picked up, or maybe it was the other way around, a hooker and a junkie, and the three of them toured the countryside. And he's here in person to share his excellent adventures with us.
Excuse me, Stan, he's not in person. He's on the phone, but he's live.
Well, what's the difference? The people who are out there, they don't know the difference.
Yes, they
Come
do,
on.
Because they only see me in the studio with
All right. Anyway,
the
you won't
invisible
be bored,
MC.
I promise you.
Dave, are you there?
I'm here.
All right, Dave, you have to tell us what prompted you to get into that situation, and then you're going to tell us what prompted you to write the book.
Well, I suppose I was somewhat adrift in my life. I was getting ready to move back out here to California, and I stopped at a 7-Eleven in Albuquerque, and these two lovely gals came up to my window, and one of the gals had lived in the town we moved to in New Mexico when I was 13, and I just decided to help them out and welcome them into my truck and into my life, and they took me on such an incredible adventure, and I got to see firsthand the life that they live on the streets. That I mean, it's so incredible the way they survive. By the time I had made it these adventures with them, I was like, oh, I got to write a book about this. I mean, and it was just nonstop action, and they were real friends, and they protected me and watched out for me. I thought I was protecting them, but apparently it was the other way around, and it was definitely a good experience.
So you actually lived out on the streets with them?
No, I sort of provided for them. Like, I got motels and stuff like that so that we had a place to stay. Like, I was going to get a motel that night anyways, and but then they sort of, they didn't, like, con me into doing that, but, like, I didn't have any problem, providing shelter and stuff for a couple weeks. And it was more than worthwhile because they were kind of like sisters. And
how long did this journey go on for?
It was 3 weeks in total.
So did you provide the place for the hooker to ply her trades?
No, I was never there during any of the more intimate aspects of Michelle's life. Like, she'd take off from our room and say, well, I'm going to go earn some money, and we don't expect you to pay for anything or to pay for everything. And Sandra and I would be like, wait, she's going to go earn money. You mean
Dave,
she's
did you guys all share the same room?
Yeah, all three of us. And they were doing drugs in the room and like smoking crack cocaine, and I couldn't figure out why I was feeling so awake all the time. And it gradually dawned on me that it was from sitting in this room breathing in this the fumes from the drugs they were using.
Why did the journey end after 3 weeks?
Well, Sandra kept disappearing on us, and Michelle was becoming increasingly dangerous to be as a friend, and was jeopardizing my life and future by pulling in right next to police to go pick up her heroin and leaving me cringing in the passenger seat while these 3 police cars were staring at me like, what are you doing at this apartment complex at 3 a.m, and where there are known heroin dealers? And I had to set myself free from Michelle.
I can imagine.
For your life.
Anyway, wait, Dave, hold on to those thoughts, because we're, I don't know if you can hear the music, but we have to take a station break. You're listening to CRNTalk.com, The View from Over Here, with Stan Weisleder in New York, and Dave Beakel on the phone with us, talking about his experience with a hooker and a addict, and his driving through from, I think, I don't know where it was, from Albuquerque to L.A. Anyway, we'll be right back.
Years ago, the family doctor was a fixture in communities across the country. He'd come into your home and personally treat whoever needed help. He was part of the family. And while that practice has faded into memory, there is someone who keeps the tradition of personal health care alive, your local Health Mart pharmacist. While much of healthcare has become confusing and impersonal, you can drop by your neighborhood Health Mart pharmacy anytime, where your pharmacist will know you by name, not by refill number. That's the spirit of caring you can expect from each independently owned Health Mart pharmacy around the country. So even if a doctor won't be stopping by your house today, you can stop by your local Health Mart pharmacy to get the advice, encouragement, and expert guidance you deserve. Visit healthmart.com for the location near you. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Try Fry Vineyards, the Mendocino County organic wine with no sulfites added from America's pioneering organic winery. Fry Wine, the first maker of certified biodynamic wines in the United States. At Fry Wines, our emphasis is on producing organic wine of the highest quality while caring for our planet and palate alike. Check out our website at frywine.com and join the Fry Vineyards Wine Club. You'll receive 20% off all orders and much more. Plus, you can check out our internet-only specials. And go to our crntalk.com website or the frywine.com website and check out Chef Piero's Recipe of the Week. Great biodynamic wines from Redwood Valley in Mendocino County, California. Fry Wines. Go to frywine.com. That's FREYWINE. Frywine.com. Check it out and enjoy great wines at your home tonight.
Let me take just a moment or two, if I may, and talk about a great place to eat. That's right. For you folks anywhere in the eastern San Fernando Valley, drop into Bob's Big Boys. That's right, in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. Now, everybody remembers the name Bob's. They're getting bigger and bigger every day. And little old Bob carrying the hamburger in his checkered overalls is the same Bob that you remember from back through the years. And, of course, if you want to go in for a great lunch, remember their classic burger, the original double-deck hamburger combination. Delicious 100% pure ground beef in 2 patties with American cheese, lettuce, and our famous Big Boy special sauce. The name is Bob, and I think when you go in, you'll say, by golly, I'm sure glad that I found this restaurant because it's good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They've got all kinds of things, and all you have to do is remember. Bob's Big Boy in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. It's a great place to eat.
Every day is Save the Earth Day, and each of us has a part to play. For more information and how you can do your part to save the Earth, contact us at SaveTheWorld.net. That's SaveTheWorld.net.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Okay, Stan, wake up. You're on.
I'm up.
I don't know. I can't see you. You're invisible. I think you took the Claude Rain pills.
Well,
I'm looking straight at you, and you're not there.
Leader on the view from over here, and the view is New York right now and here. Dave, question for you.
Hello,
Dave. Are you up?
David. Yes.
Are you still in contact with your travel mates?
No, I haven't spoken with them since in the past 3 years. I don't know how to reach them. I might be able to reach Sandra's brother, though.
Are you interested in reaching them?
Yes, I definitely would like to let them know about this book and to maybe see if they'd be willing to sign off on the rights so that I can include their real names.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
by the way,
Dad, if you're going to make it into a movie,
that'd be cool.
Now my question:
they'll get some money out of it, maybe, and maybe they could change their lives.
I would be very happy to share whatever proceeds. But I feel it's.
Do they want to change their lives? That's the question.
I know Sandra does. Michelle was kind of living her life out on the streets by choice, but I mean, I imagine that if she could break free from the addiction, that she'd soon realize that it's a lot nicer being sober than being on drugs.
Now the hooker was not on drugs?
No, they both were. They were both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because most of the stories are.
Dave, how old were they?
24 and 28.
Now, is a hooker by choice, or?
Yeah, she chose to live that life so that she could support her drug habit.
Now, question: Did you partake of any of the carnal knowledge with them, or were you completely above board?
Basically, from the very beginning, I felt quite a crush for Sandra, and there was a kind of a romance was developing between us. But she had a boyfriend who was in jail, and I didn't feel right about. I know that this Hell's Angels guy and these other people were trying to get me to go all the way with her, and but I had reservations about that. But I definitely felt a romance for the gal that was not a hooker, and then the gal that was a hooker. Like we were very much like best friends. Like I really enjoyed her sense of humor and stuff. But and I mean there were some sultry moments, but the entire book's PG-13. But
now you should try to seek them out to let them know about the book.
I suppose I could try to start out by reaching Sandra's brother, and maybe I could if I went out to Albuquerque. I know the areas where they hung out, and I could go searching for them.
Well, where did you pick them up in Albuquerque? Where did you drop them off?
Well, I didn't. They both kind of just. Michelle was Sandra kind of whisked me away from Michelle. And then one night, Sandra said she was going to go meet this other guy, and then she just vanished on me. And she'd already vanished on us at several other points. And
do you think they're still alive?
Yeah, I definitely am sure of that.
Well, you have to seek them out and tell them now that they're famous.
Or infamous.
I'd love to. That's definitely something I'd like to do.
Now, how long ago was this?
It's 3 years ago.
Yeah. Are you going to try to reprise a certain journey again by picking up some more people in Los Angeles and taking them to Albuquerque?
That would be interesting. I've met gals like that here in Santa Cruz, especially. Like I ended up meeting a lot of people that, when I don't know why, I always end up with these illicit relations and stuff. And then the gal I'm with now is a lesbian, and so I.
Hey Malcolm, once we post this interview, he may get a lot of offers.
Well, as I say, we're interested in getting the movie rights to your story.
Nice. That I'm very interested.
Well, contact after the show. Contact Stan, and he's very much involved, and we'll do a treatment on it. But it seems like a fascinating story. I don't know how many men would do what you did. I think everybody would be tempted to, but they're a bit frightened. I know I would be.
The big question, Malcolm and Dave, the big question here is, how much do you adhere to the truth, and do you add to it to make it a little bit more adventuresome? And then do you do it as a comedy situation or as a realistic, sad kind of story? That's really the big issue.
Well, it's very much I don't know if comedies. There's a lot of humor in it, and it's very upbeat. And
Dave, I didn't read the book. You have to send me a copy. I will read it, and then I'll give you my advice on it.
I'd love to.
Well, you're in town, right? I mean, you're in the L.A. area.
Yeah, and I am smacking myself in the head right now because I wanted to be in Sunland this morning, and I just I got like an hour and a half of sleep last night, and I'm trying to get letters off to agents and stuff.
David, that's no excuse.
Dave, does your press agent, Erwin Zucker, have copies?
Yes, and the entire story is absolutely true. I didn't embellish anything, but Erwin and the gang keep questioning that, and so he decided to call it a work of fiction.
Well, have Erwin send me a copy ASAP.
Absolutely.
Oh, now I remember. I had met you Thursday. I didn't remember, but when you said it's a work of friction, I remember us talking about that.
Malcolm, he won one of the awards.
Right, but I didn't know what book it was when I was
there.
You
didn't put two and two together.
Listen, I had 2 glasses of wine. I don't know anything.
Comical.
But it's interesting. Maybe we'll get, actually what we should do is get the 3 of you together in a room.
You know, I could easily see him writing a sequel about this.
Okay.
Sounds pretty perilous.
Now, how long has the book been out?
I'm gonna get a second edition. Should be available within the next month or so.
All right, so it's moving slowly, but it's moving.
Do you have a website that people can access you, or?
Yes. My name's David Beakel. DAVID BEAKEL, and I'm on Facebook right now, and www.davidbeakel.com, and but mainly on Facebook, and my webpage is undergoing some construction right now.
Uh-huh.
Get on LinkedIn as well.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a business connections.
I'm just learning how to do LinkedIn and Twitter.
Yeah, that's the way to go. That's a new. Well, if you need some connections, we have a great gal working for us, Pam Blankensee, and she is the expert on the social media, social networks. And, to me, it's all new. I know what I want. I tell her what to do, and she does it, or she tells me what to do. But she's excellent at it. If anybody's looking for a person to work with the social media, this is the lady, or the social networks.
Well, I'd like to meet her.
Well, we shall arrange it. Paul, are you telling me to speed up?
We have a break coming up?
We don't have a break. Oh, okay. No, we have our next guest lined up.
Okay. One last question. Dave, where are you located in the L.A. area?
We're right in the heart of Hollywood at a Hollywood and Highland.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, thanks very much.
Thank you, guys.
And again, one day we'll, in a little while, we'll have you come in studio so we can talk to you eyeball to eyeball.
Sounds wonderful.
Okay, thanks again.
All right, Dave, take care.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, now we have, who do we have as a guest? Who is she? Ann Weber.
Anna Weber.
Anna Weber.
Okay, Anna Weber. She comes originally from Romania, went to Israel, and then went to the U.S. so that she can realize the American dream.
What is the American dream? Anna, are you there?
Well, we'll have to ask her directly and find out.
Anna, are you there?
She's not only a public speaker, but she's also a lifestyle leadership coach. And her 17th book, her 17th book, the latest one is 360 Degrees of Success.
Anna, are you there?
Thank you.
Hi, how are you? This is Malcolm Burman, and the other voice you'll hear is Stan Weisleder.
And I'm in New York right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Anna, what is the American dream? People have been trying to define that for years.
I think the American dream is success, but not without happiness. Having the liberty of being happy and free and successful at the same time professionally, in your business, and in your personal life.
Uh-huh. Well, when you were in Romania, was that part of that was part of the USSR, wasn't it?
Yes, when I was in Romania as a little girl, it was definitely under communism, and we lived, I actually had to share a bathroom with 3 other families, and we had to wait sometimes an hour or over an hour for a loaf of bread. So, yeah, so kind of describes you the lifestyle. So it was definitely not, there were no dreams at that time. There were hopes, but there were no dreams because, life.
But what about when you were in Israel? That's supposed to be a country where they also have democracy and you could do pretty much whatever you want, so I'm told.
Yes, actually in Israel, I went to school there. We immigrated there when I was 10. And at 1967, I was 16 going on 17. Actually, I was 16. We had a war. And then again in 1973, I was going through both wars. I came here after that war in 1973.
Did you serve in the military?
No, I got married instead. And then I went back to school. I had a baby, and the truth is that when we were in the shelter, and in 1973, and I had a baby in my arms, and I could see him. He was so not at ease, and he was so upset about there was no light. It was kind of dark and cold, and he said, I just need to go back. He barely spoke a few words, and he said, I need to go back. And I understood what he said, and I think that kind of really ignited. Not that it's a bad country or anything. I don't want to say anything really negative here. However, I just wanted to pursue more opportunities and freedom. And I just said, I want to raise my son where he doesn't, he's not in a shelter saying, I want to go back to my room, to play with my toys.
Did you live on a kibbutz when in Israel?
I actually, when we moved there, my mom didn't know the language, neither did I, and she really didn't have a profession. She grew up in a aristocratic family before the war, Second World War, and, she wasn't really accustomed to, it was a little different, than women's live. But anyhow, she wasn't able to support me. She did different work. She actually worked for a deli, basically catering, and I went to a kibbutz, to basically a farm kibbutz where kids were working part of the day and going to school part of the day. So obviously your work was making up for the schooling and for the room and board. And I was living in a dorm with 3 other little girls, and we were all from the age of 10 to 13. So it was quite an event moving from a cultural and being with your mom and having your little room to a dorm at that age. It was really a huge life-changing event for me.
It's like my son's going to college now. They live in a dorm.
Yes. And you know what? In a college, we hope that the kids are mature to deal with that, with that big change. But when you are 10 going on 11, it really feels very, you kind of, you're looking for your mommy. You're looking for my
But
parents.
Listen, before we forget, can you tell our listeners what your website is so they could look you up and get copies of your books and so forth?
Sure. The website is www.360degreesofsuccess.com.
That's it. That's all they have to do to look that up.
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay.
And they welcome to reach out to me. It has all my contact information, toll-free numbers, and cell number and email. And people.
And that will list all of your other books as well?
Well, yes. Well, if they Google me, they're going to see there's a moneyflowmastery.com website as well, and that's listing the money flow book as well, the previous book to the 360, and Sweet Nothings Lead You to Everything. But all my other books can be purchased on Amazon. They're all listed on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, so people can have access to all my books.
Are any of them e-books?
Yes, we have e-books. We have audio-video books. The 360 is actually an audio book as well that you can listen to and purchase it on Amazon. So there is, technology. You have to keep up so they can download it as an e-book. They can listen to it. And, there's various forms. And there's also even in a hard, you can purchase it in a hardcover as well and paperback.
Anna, I have a question for you, which you can answer at the other end of our break. Do you think you have reached the American dream? And what are you doing? If not, what are you doing to pursue it? I'm going to leave you for you to think about it, and when we return to The View from Over Here, we'll get an answer. You're listening to The View from Over Here on CRNTalk.com, and we'll be back in a few minutes, so stay tuned for Anna Weber to find out whether she ever reached the American dream.
The next time you're in Southern California, visit the Riviera Restaurant in Calabasas. Riviera, as the name implies, is the ultimate in Calabasas restaurants. There's not even a close second. And what's better suited for the Beverly Hills of the Valley than a Beverly Hills type of restaurant and watering hole without those ridiculous Beverly Hills prices? They're so good. With impeccable service, they probably don't even need this commercial. Even now, it's hard to get a good table except for off hours. But if you really want to treat yourself or your date, call 818-224-2163. That's 818-224-2163. That's the Riviera Restaurant in Calabasas, California.
Kaanapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
Located in the heart of Maui's premier resort, Kaanapali Beach Hotel is officially recognized as Hawaii's most Hawaiian hotel and the #1 best value in Hawaii. With a range of accommodations and affordable dining options, this is the ideal setting to turn Hawaiian dreams into lifelong memories. Live Hawaiian entertainment every evening, free year-round children's programs, weekly arts and crafts fairs, welcome breakfast, and departure kukui lei ceremonies add to the value. Swim in the whale-shaped pool. Indulge in the fabulous spa and hotel salon. Enjoy Hawaiian hospitality at its best at the Kaanapali Beach Hotel. Call 800-262-8450 or go to kvhmaui.com. That's kvhmaui.com. Aloha.
Kaanapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
Hi, folks. This is Larry Minetti. And many of you out there suffer from skin problems. Well, I've been telling you for months how to solve that problem. It's called Herpanicin. It's the most unique and effective formula on the market. It cleans your skin from the inside out. It gets rid of all kinds of acne on your back, your neck, your face, so you can feel and you could look like a movie star. Herpanicin is a natural supplement. It was created by Dr. Wayne Diamond and his staff, and trust me, this really works. I've been on these supplements for over a year now and never had a problem. There is no reason in the world to wake up and be afraid to look in the mirror. You trust Larry. Just try it. Call 888-467-4200. 888-467-4200.
The Trees, an epic novel by Stan Weisleder, told in the Godfather fashion, with 2/3 of the book taking place in Las Vegas and describing the transition from the mob to Howard Hughes to corporate America. This book is Las Vegas. Jim Santangelo from the International Brotherhood of Teamsters said, "I didn't grow up in New York or Las Vegas. I grew up in Jersey City, but I know everyone in this book. I loved it." Hal Rothbart, publisher, says, "I wish I had written it." The Trees by Stan Weisleder.
Okay, back to New York. Stan?
Yes, we are in New York, or at least I am, while Malcolm is slaving away in Sunland.
And we have about 4 minutes left, so let's get to our guest, Anna Weber. Anna? Or Anna?
Yes, hi. It's
Hi.
Anna. Yes, hi.
Yeah, that's my wife's name. I always tell her that her family was too poor to buy the second N, so it's only one N.
That's me.
Anyway,
well, maybe she's related to Santa Anna.
Yeah, could be. Anyway, the question was, have you reached the American dream, and what do you feel that you have?
Yes, I have. I definitely have. I have reached my dream. I haven't completely fulfilled my purpose, and something that I look forward to tomorrow. But maybe the dream, yes. I made some great personal choices. There's such a wonderful liberty in this country. It's filled with opportunities and various choices that we can make to be personally, professionally, and successful in business. So yes, the answer is a big yes with big lights. And what can I tell you? It took many years to get here. And the reason that I'm so passionate also about the 360 is because I want people to get there sooner than I have. It took many detours and various roads and challenges that I had to turn into opportunities personally for me. So I want to see people, college students and business owners and entrepreneurs and professionals reach their personal and professional success much sooner than I have, and really reach that dream and feel that you're living the dream every single day.
But as I say, the goal may not be the important thing. It's the trip there.
It's the journey.
And you seem to have enjoyed the journey. But you mentioned one word, which I'm not sure what you meant by it. You said, what is your purpose? Or do you feel that you have a purpose in life?
Yes. My purpose is basically to share everything that I have experienced and everything that I know, and all the the hidden secrets and the formulas and the tips that I have for people to share with the world. Like I said, how to get there sooner and really enjoy the journey. That is the key. Enjoy enjoy while you get there. I tell people that life is like a vehicle. And when we are in the driver's seat, we can choose which direction to take and what successful stop destinations we're going to make along the way. But just be careful. Don't let that vehicle stall on you or go in reverse. You only go in reverse.
If there was one thing that you could say, only one thing that you could say to our listeners that they should do, what would that be?
With 30 seconds.
That would be don't give up, don't give in, but give more of yourself, and you will see that the rewards are amazing.
Well, thank you very much, Anna, and I hope people will live by that. And how would they contact you again, fast?
It's www.360degreesofsuccess.com.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a fabulous day. Good
You
night.
too. And you've been listening to The View from Here on crntalk.com. And next week we shall have some fabulous guests. Do we know who's coming next week? Or is it
it's
surprise?
a surprise.
It's a surprise, and maybe you'll get some of the people from the big city, New York. Anyway, guys, have a...
That's what we're aiming for.
Are we going to have to do the Joe Franklin tape, or we don't know?
I'll bring that with me. I want to play with that. But we have an interesting one coming up in a couple of weeks because I'll be attending the send-off for Sid Caesar.
And that is send-off. Okay, guys, thanks very much for joining us this week. And go to our website, www.viewfromoverhere, to get all the back shows and this week's show. And have a great week. Stan, have fun in New York. Be careful.
I will, Malcolm.
Don't do anything that I would.
Of course not.
And send my love to Marilyn.
Will do.
Okay, guys. See you next week. Bye-bye.
The View from Over Here is a co-production of Infinity X and TBG International. For further information, contact Malcolm Burman at 818-687-2784. That's 818-687-2784.
Which was most appropriate because that was your theme.
Are you tired of hearing your favorite talk radio show sound like this? What if you could hear your favorite shows in crystal clear, high-definition digital sound? Well, with CRN Digital Talk Radio